Christine is 12:30.
Seems like that could be a good fit. We'll get our race admins to figure it out while Deshaun is over here in Jackio and working to wrap things up.
Okay, we have our admins checking the tape for what it's worth, but Deshauna here we know took a costly death, so we'll be coming in for 5th position there. But from all accounts, it looks like BFOB taking the win on this one, Fab grabbing a solid 2nd position. Possibly. Yes, possibly. Yeah, we should be good there depending on what we come back with for Christine. And then Raz with a 12:37 here. Super tight. Absolutely super tight here overall. Waiting for things to be confirmed out, and that was just the first race. So BFOB, it looks like possibly clutching this one out. We're looking to confirm. We have left 12:30 is confirmed for Christine. So that leaves us with this, folks. So standings for this round is going to be BFOB taking the 1st position with a 12:18. Fabricator General taking 2nd place with a 12:23. Excellent showing from him. X Christine rounding out the podium with a 12:30. Razul with a 12:37 in 4th position. And Deshauna wrapping up with a 13:44 on that would be race time at this point. So amazing to think here between the top 4. We have a range of 12:18 to 12:37, less than 20 seconds apart for the top 4. I knew this would be close. I called that for sure. I think we all did. But it just shows that all those minor optimizations that BFOB did, very, very good across the board. Giving Seamless here some time to wrap things up. We're going to work on getting things together on this side. Fabricator General putting together the race room in the back end here. Seamless Link working on the front end show that you guys are seeing. Lots of stuff happening behind the scenes. A big shout out to Ultra Minimalist and Black Squall for being our admin staff and confirming the times that we have as well. We got 2 more races coming up here, guys. For those, again, who need a refresher on the format, this is the 3rd group tonight that we're having out of a group of 5, 23 participants joining in the Ninja Racing League, the NRL that you're seeing here. 3 races per group. Winner of the group moves on to the top 8 that we're going to have next Saturday. And then there are 3 wildcard slots available for those based on the highest point totals. You get points for how you place in each race: 4 for 1st, 3 for 2nd, 2 for 3rd, 1 for 4th, 0 for 5th. That has not changed at all for the smaller groups that we have coming up. There are groups of 4. But again, it's going to come down to average time being the tiebreaker for that one as well. So you just want to race as cleanly and as consistently as possible. But BFOB coming out to an early lead on this one. But as we've seen, we have not seen back-to-back victories happen out of the gate. So it's possible that anything can happen here with Ninja Gaiden. That's where we stand. But hang tight, folks. We're working on getting the race room together. And we'll have this next one here up and running momentarily. Hang tight. Okay, guys, hang tight. We're still working through some stuff here on the back end here. Should be getting started here momentarily. Okay, the 60-second warning has been dropped by Fabricator General. We're going to be getting this next heat going here momentarily, guys. I think we're ready to go. Seamless Link, what do you think of the first race, and what's your thought on the second heat here?
Oh, absolutely incredible. And you can see, we have that many runners putting up amazing times. We've seen some higher times in the race already, and all the runners really played pretty mistake-free. There was no DNFs. Nobody kind of hitting that hard limit or dying on the demon. It's as I predicted that this would be a consistent race experienced group. That's really what we got in the first heat.
Right, you are. So it's interesting to think here. We were less than 20 seconds apart from the top four within here. So we know that we have a lot of consistent players, a lot of very, very high skill that we're seeing here overall. I mean, everyone has their work cut out for them, and any position that they can get that's higher up, it's something to be celebrated. BFOB pulling the win out on that one. It was hard fought. Basically, any small mistakes that he would have made would have opened the door for FabGen, Christina Razul.
Yeah, absolutely. When when you're talking 6 seconds apart between first and second and third and fourth, that's crazy. If you take a death as fast as possible on the stage, that takes at least 5 seconds.
And away we go. Green flag drops on the second heat of 3 that we have here for Group C. And we got everyone off here. I saw in chat people asking about what the fastest time of the day was so far. That goes to Retro Runner with the first sub 12 of the day. I believe that was around 11:56 in the last race of the Group B that we just saw. But here we are, second race of Group C. Stage 1, not anything particularly too exciting. Just try to avoid the small mistakes. Give yourself a good foundation to build off of and build up that confidence coming into a bar to go grab a drink and say hello to the bartender. Oh my God, he's got an axe. But don't worry, we got Spin Slash to take care of him with.
Absolutely. No time wasted. The second you walk in, he heads at you with an axe. Probably the least friendly bar you can think of.
Well, I mean, it looks like he's had a hard time. There's no other customers there. There's broken glass everywhere. It's all mayhem. And now we're coming into the affectionately referred to Kit Kat stage, which I after hearing that, I can't unsee it. Just like giant Kit Kats laying on the ground as opposed to the steel girders that they're supposed to be. But break me off a piece of Kit Kat bar. Not a sponsor of NRL, but nonetheless appreciate a nice snack. To enjoy while watching the fantastic races that we have going on here today. And we're going to be coming up here to the bounce house, a deceptively difficult area where you have to do direct inputs before you jump. So unfortunately, Ryu has this nasty habit that if you jump and then do an alternate input, you'll get a shallow jump and possibly can put yourself in the pit if you're not paying attention. So that's where it stands. Coming into 2-2.
Yep, absolutely. We've seen the bounce house hurt a lot of people. One of the big things about the bounce house too is, usually most racers through acts 1 and 2 reset. They know their global timer going into it, and acts 1 and 2 can be cakewalk. But if you have a slow bounce house, or if you slow down in act 2 in 2-1, you see a lot of that get you in the backhand with some troll mummies in 2-2 coming up here.
Yeah, it's that pesky global timer we've been talking about rearing its ugly head. You have to be ready for those hammers coming down from the mummies at the worst times. You've got basically 3 of them to deal with here, and they always seem to be on the worst timer overall for whatever reason. And that one going over BFOB's head, doing pretty good. It's got plenty of Nimpo to burn to the door, and there he goes. We're about to go fight Bomberhead as Christine is right behind. Fab going in as well. Deshana not too far behind as well. Looking good here out of stage 2.
Yep, absolutely. And it's one of those fun things. I always joke that there's the last 2 enemies, or the 2 enemies of the game aren't Jackie and the Demon. The 2 enemies of this game are birds and the global timer.
Actually, I would argue that the 2 main ones are the global timer and your sword. That doesn't work half the time. Birds can be ducked and avoided. Your sword you can't do anything about, and other than just pray it's going to work half the time.
I stand corrected, sir. That is a great point.
And here we are into 3-1, into 3-2. B-Fob going in. Christine having some difficulty there up on top of the platform. Fabricator General coming into 3-2 as well. Deshauna not too far behind, and Christine also there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think this is another group. We're not going to see a ton of double bird boosts here. I think, again, they're racers that stay safe and consistent. They know, especially in talking to the racers like B-Fob, like Fabricator General for sure, know that you're sacrificing 6 health for maybe half of a second. And if you don't get the double bird, you're actually losing time. So it makes sense to stay safe and play safe.
Oh, here we go to the cliff. Fabricator General had a small issue there where Ryu's sticky fingers or toes wanted to grab onto the ledge. He actually took some damage and lost a little bit of time there. Christine taking the super safe strat as we come into Massacre. And also can confirm Razul off screen is there as well, getting the kill. So no major mistakes on Razul's part here as we're coming into stage 4.
Yeah, again, and I'll probably beat it to death throughout the broadcast, but this is, if nothing else, the consistency group. You can see them, they're all tightly clumped together, all 5 of our racers running together, and really the little mistakes are going to be what set people apart in this one.
It's funny that you should say that. Group C, the C standing for consistency. But it's just a bunch of hungry killers in this one. Overall, the tightest grouping of average PBs across the board. A very nice boost there from Fabricator General. And we have Beerful of Belly up top of the mountain. And Christine Deshauna not too far behind. Fab right there as well. But B-Fob lengthening his stride, pulling out in front from what we're seeing here.
Yep, and one of the things too is on that pillar climb, you can see nice, easy climbs, nothing crazy, maybe a quick climb or two, and not a single racer is really electing to take that bird boost. It's a very tiny half-second save, but could kill you, and it's awful to lose that spin slash going into 4-2.
Well, thankfully there's a spin slash you can pick up right there. We saw Beerful just pass by the backup.
Yep, always nice to know where it is, and we've got a new category 100%. Hopefully, as Beerful of Belly has run it, and maybe we see some of the other racers run it, they'll get to know some of the backups and the items, because a lot of the times you typically only know the items that you know in your run, and you don't have the backups for everything. That's why you see some of the other players have some backups and some not.
Yeah, you get to see the random, the rarely seen 1-ups as well in that category as you're going through and killing things out. Beerful of Belly getting the bullet boost here as he goes into the final screen of 4-3.
Yep, absolutely. Fab right behind him, and you're going to see a little bit of difference in how they're canceling, and Fab's going to keep some extra info to spin through, where other people like to sword cancel on this Hammer Brother coming.
And off-screen, Razul also entering Kelbaros too, so no major screw-ups on his side for stage 4. Very good.
Yep, absolutely. Christine and Fab are into Kelbaros, and Deshauna right behind them.
Looking pretty good. Coming into stage 5 then for Beerful of Belly. Will he be the first today to have back-to-back opening victories to get that early 8-point lead?
It would be nice. It would certainly put him in the driver's seat, as a lot of the other racers found that their advancement and kind of their tournament life, in a sense, definitely on the line by race 3. But having a 2-race lead, I don't want to say guarantees you, but it does put you way ahead.
It does. And again, it also puts you in a nice position that even if you don't have a favorable 3rd race, if you still score 2 points and end up getting 10, so even if you get 3rd position, just make the podium, you're in the running for a good wild card position at that point, just based on sheer points alone.
Yep, exactly. And Christine, you could see having some issues with the global timer with the troll hammers, but navigated them beautifully. Lost her the bird boost, but she is up and in there, got through with no problems. And you can see she's still up and in there and running hot, even though she had some really bad luck with those Hammer Brothers.
Oh, B-Fob up and over, but unfortunately Ryu getting stuck on the wall there, but gets the bird boost coming into 5-3.
Yep, and definitely has some health issues coming through that. That bird taking 3 health from you really hurts. And you can see is all the other racers, again, taking the safer, the health strats to stay topped up just in case.
Yes, it cannot be overstated that the bird Birds in Ninja Gaiden do as much damage as the unholy demon spawn awoken from hell from the statues. That that's just truth. That just birds are absolute true evil, and they should be feared. But Tecmo decided to scale that back later on in the series, and they realized their mistake.
Absolutely, they had to fix the sword and fix the birds. Makes perfect sense as we see the SP boost from both Fab and X Christine navigating through, and again, no deaths from any of the runners, and they're moving solid and moving steady through.
B-Fob coming up to Malth here as they're making their climb up. Razul not too far behind from what it looks like as well, about to go into Malth. From what I'm seeing off camera here, as well as Fabricator General. So it looks like Christine, Fab, and Razul all super close together. Deshana keeping pace as best as possible, but B-Fob wrapping things up, moving on to the final stage, stage 6.
Yeah, absolutely. And all runners here really on sub 13 pace easily. It's going to be, if they continue at this pace, this was going to be our closest heat of the night by far, with everyone putting up just fantastic times.
Wow, that's a big if that you're throwing out there, Link, because this is where tragedy happens, and strikes usually from 6-2 onward. 6-1's not too bad, but even if you get caught in the blender there, it's pretty bad. But this is where it's make or break time. This is when stress hits its peak, and you got to finish things out. And so good luck to all of our runners here to have a strong finish here in race 2 of Group C.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the big things is, keeping spin slash. 6-2 with spin slash is workable. 6-2 without spin slash becomes an absolute nightmare. The people that can play low percent and play low percent well are just absolutely wild. And you can see we've had some contestants. Razul's been playing low percent, and a good low percent runner to, perhaps practice for the tournament as well, just in case, what's a better backup strat than never getting spin slash on a whole run?
Right, exactly. It's a whole different game when you don't have that spin slash to lean on. It just makes things so much scarier if you don't have a backup strat to work with, and you just kind of improv the thing as opposed to just doing the routine that you're used to. But B-Fob getting through to 6-3. Fabricator General also in there as well. Christine starting things off on her side. Deshana going through the Hell Hallway, and Razul also in 6-3.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, everyone's been playing pretty mistake-free. If there have been any errors or any issues, it's been little things, a little knockback here, a little knockback there, but everyone consistent, no major mistakes, nothing crazy. The biggest kind of scare was that Christine climb from last race. Other than that, we've been moving pretty smoothly.
Yeah, smooth sailing across the board. So the Group C is standing for consistency and clean play across the board. No major mistakes from all the runners, which is pretty insane considering that we're dealing with multiple no reset runs across the board. Just playing the game of numbers here. Fabricator going for the top route there to grab that little health pickup, doing a good job overall, and opting just to hold right. And we have Christine taking down the Clown Nose, Beerful hunting down Jackio. And Razul taking down the Clown Nose as well. So B-Fob out in front.
Yep, absolutely. And this is the key moment where you think you're home free, but you got to make sure the shrimp have not been friendly to any of our racers tonight. You got to see, are they going to play consistent? Are they going to get good shrimp? And they have to be able to close this out.
Well, B-Fob looking like he has an umbrella because they just went right around him that whole time. Dealing with some bad stuff here, though, but getting in some nice hits and closing it out.
Yeah, as we're going in there, absolutely wild. Looks like B-Fob, our race admin's giving us a time of 12:11, coming in at first place, with X Christine right behind him as we're working to get you guys the time.
So X Christine showing a 12:14 on Race Time GG. Fabricator General a 12:24 on Race Time GG. So it's very possible that Christine taking the silver medal in this one.
Yeah, we got to double check on the stream delay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Okay, so we have to double check something here really fast. B-Fob showing 12:11 by our admins, but Christine with a 12:10. Christine may be taking the gold on this one. Let's go. hang tight, folks. We'll get you some more information on this one. Fab showing a 12:24. Razzle with a 12:37. Deshauna getting a sub 13 with 12:51. This is wonderful. So everyone getting a 12-minute time here, all five. This is fantastic. Okay, guys, hang tight while we sort this out and we figure things out. But it looks like that Christine may have taken down BFOB by a single second. Our admins are confirming, yes, this looks to be correct. But we're gonna check. There is some questions about BFOB, whether or not BFOB had a faster time. We're gonna check it and run it back. In the meantime, folks, Seamless Link doing some work on the back end here, and wearing multiple hats here today, being able to do the presentation for you as well as doing some commentary with us alongside. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. Glad to have you. And glad to have all of you guys here once again for your time and attention and building the hype and just going off in chat. All of the races have been extremely exciting to see. We're waiting to hear back from the admins, though, about whether or not BFOB takes the gold or Christine on this one. But we'll say just fantastic runs from both, no matter what. Okay, so looks like from what we're seeing, BFOB actually had a time a little closer to probably around 12:03, 12:04 in that ballpark, which would edge out X Christine. So that being said, Beer Full of Belly is the first one today with a 12:03 time per the admins, taking the gold medals. X Christine moving up on the podium, silver medal for a 12:10. Fabricator General also on the podium, getting the bronze medal with a 12:24. Razzle with a 12:37. Deshauna with a 12:51. So again, the podium, the top four finish was 34 seconds from 12:03 to 12:37. But I believe this is our first run tonight where all five racers were in the sub 13 category in the 12s. So well done, Group C. Team consistency all the way. Now, let's look at the points. Thinking about that, BFOB's got himself a nice clean lead with 8 points by winning the first two. He's got that nice cushion to work with. Fab and Christine switching it up. So Fab getting 3 points and 2 points. So it is 8-5 right now, tied for second position. And it leaves Razzle with 2, with getting 4th place on both of those races, and Deshauna with 0 in the back. But again, this is the most difficult group across the board here. So right now, BFOB is sitting in a really good position to win out Group C, just based on how the finishes are. But that second position, trying to stay in the hunt as best as possible. If X Christine or Fab can somehow pull out a victory, that will put them up to 9 points and put them in the hunt for that wild card position. Or basically, Deshauna needs to dethrone BFOB. If anything can happen, I mean, this is Ninja Gaiden, folks. This is where we currently stand. But thankfully, this is where we're at this point. See on the screen what we've got for you, and we're going to be getting ready, setting up for the next race, the final one of Group C. So keep it here, folks. Relax, kick back, enjoy. Make sure to hydrate. I'm going to do so myself.
All right, it looks like we are back. We've got the 60-second notice out to our racers, and we will be off for our third match coming up soon right after this. We see Beer Full of Belly with a commanding lead at 8 points, and X Christine and Fab tied at 5. Realistically, one of those two wants to try and win this race in order to have their best shot at a wild card. It's going to be very exciting if they're stealing enough points from each other to kind of keeping them back, or if one of them can try and steal from BFOB. While BFOB, again, if he gets first place, will again be the best shot at the 1 seed, as we're going to sort our tournament bracket seeds by points first and then their average times. Let's see as we fight for the first seed.
How about it? So BFOB now is knocking at the door at a perfect run, and you're talking about Christine and Fab trying to take the lead. That is going to be the tallest order across the board here. BFOB not even yielding an inch in those first 2 races overall, with low 12s each time. Pretty incredible across the board here. So I think it's looking like right now that BFOB has pretty much solidified himself, barring anything. A catastrophic failure, basically, is what it comes down to. And my apologies if that's the case. He was my pick for this group as well to move on to the top 8. But as far as a wild card shot, Christine and Fabricator getting swapped there definitely keeps them kind of down, and they're really going to have to push it as best as they possibly can to get back in the running for that wild card position, like you said.
Yep, absolutely. And BFOB still, it's not mathematically guaranteed yet. He's got a lot to lose. He could, but again, right, he would need to have basically a last place finish or a 4th place finish at this point. And Fabricator or Christine would have to not only win, but win by enough time and seconds to be able to edge him out on the average. So it is possible. We are not out of the woods yet for any of these racers.
Welcome to Ninja Gaiden, folks. We've got a pretty good sync across the board here. They're not too far of a delay, so the internet gods are with us here for this one. And stage 1, again, it's even though that Beerful has a fantastic lead at this point, Fab and Christina are the ones to watch here, and if they could possibly somehow be able to grab a gold medal here and put themselves in the running for that wild card, that would be very much to the benefit. So let's go with this one. Good luck to everybody. Stage 2 coming up.
Yep, and one of the big things too is the consistency of these runners, right? Fabricator General 12:23 in the first race, 12:24 in the second. Razul spot on the nose with 2 12:37s back to back, and Christine with a 12:30 and a 12:10, so averaging a 12:20 time. All the racers very, very consistent, and even Deshauna with a sub 13 doing very, very well for himself. All of these racers, he's got a 13:17 2-race average so far, and it's currently ahead of the pace of some of the other runners in some of the other groups too. All of our racers have just been doing a fantastic job coming in strong, coming in with good times.
Okay, so a small little thing there that I'm just going to point out really fast. Fabricator General is vocal that he hates the bounce house, which is that room where you have to bounce back and forth, and actually was enough to catch himself. He had a botched jump when going to the left, but was able to prevent it from going in the cliff, and that actually yielded the second position potentially to Christine from what we're seeing here. But we got BFOB and Razzle, everyone going through 2-2. Again, this is the scary first hurdle to get past in its own right, coming into the final screen here, and we'll see where we're going to shake up.
Yep, absolutely. And that bounce house, a lot of this game is that true left input and not necessarily being frame perfect at the same time, but being a frame apart. And that bounce house and a lot of other jumps, you have to land, have one frame of a true direction, and then be able to bounce again. And then hit jump, and it can be very tough and can cause some time. Otherwise, you do that dreaded little backflip instead of the full jump.
And all of our runners coming in. Oh, Fabricator General killing the chain, killing the weapon of Bomberhead, the first that we've seen on stream here. Look at this. And he had the slash down Bomberhead in the process. That's going to lose a little bit of time. He's going to be feeling that one.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so tough. It never feels good when you kill the weapon. You're only a couple of pixels off. But fortunately, it was a quicker cleanup for him. It didn't set him back too much. But sometimes if you completely miss it, it can really hurt you. It turns into a pure low percent kill.
Oh, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, Deshauna taking a death right before the door of Bomberhead at the very end of 2-2 off screen here, unfortunately. So that's a good thing for BFOB overall to kind of keep him out of that last position and give him that buffer for this one. But you hate to see it.
Absolutely. And just because you may not have the points to advance out of the group doesn't mean that you can't play well enough to play spoiler. And it's, as much as you want to follow the top racer, the top runner, there's the guys, that might be bringing up the back of the pack, whether, it's someone with a low PB or a higher PB. Deshauna is one of the tougher competitors to have in your group because he's consistently put up good times. If you die to the demon in this one, there's a good chance you're falling back straight to last place because we've been very consistent.
Very true. And by the way, interesting to note, Christine and FabGen both taking the super safe run. Did Razzle just do the butt clench clip? Did I just see that? I think that may have just happened because I saw a super clean looking kill there. I don't know if he paused or not, but BFOB getting through that as well out in front from what it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, you pull out the swag strats and things are on the line and you either, live as a hero or die and redo the stage. But it's absolutely incredible.
It looks like Razzle did go for the butt clench cliff. I can't believe it. What a mad lad. Putting on a show for the folks. You'll love to see it.
Absolutely incredible. Putting on a show. So fantastic. And again, you can tell a little deviation. Ooh, is Fab unfortunately clipped through the ladder and takes that frame perfect kind of death there.
Oh my God. Oh, no, that's going to really, really hurt, unfortunately, for that one. But he's got to keep it running as best as he can. He's going to get that troll bird, but he did react to it very well.
Yep. Always tough. And that's, one of the things too, is that panic management. When something goes wrong, can you kind of get back on track and get en route? It's one of the tougher deaths. It's not the worst death, as he does get everything kind of back, but it does cost him maybe a good 30-40 seconds to get across that screen again.
Yeah, just like when you die toward the end of 3-2 or the last screen of 2-2, that's a long walk back there. And this one usually doesn't feel too bad. And it really hurts to die in such a manner that Ryu doesn't know how to properly use the ladder and dies in the process. Oh, but taking a death right in the beginning of 4-2 in the process. Fab is mentally guard broken on this one. Not looking too good for him on that side. That's definitely got to hurt.
Yep, and that's one of the bad things too, is that sometimes in midair, you jumped early, you might have mistimed something, and you try to improvise, but oftentimes it usually doesn't go well for you. But it's super interesting. Is BFOB and X Christine's catching up to BFOB a little bit up top. BFOB missed the ladder clip at the start of 4-3 and is slowly working his way back up, but it's leaving a little bit of the door open for X Christine to play catch up, as she's only a little bit behind him coming into Kubberos.
Yeah, very, very close. Razul also knocking at the door here, so the BFOB is not safe here and cannot rest on his laurels here in the process. Christine is right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been wild how tight, how close this group has been. This has been an amazing race, and all of these racers across all three races have done one heck of a job putting on a show.
All of the groups have been very exciting to watch. I can't wait to see the top 8 tournament stage, kind of see how that one's going to play out. 1v1 action on that one. No question about who's going to win that one when we can sync the feeds up, which would be kind of nice to see. But that being said, BFOB finishing up 5-1. X Christine not too far behind, bringing the bird with her and getting the early bird of scum, unfortunately, but adapting as well as she possibly can to it. Fabricator General wrapping up Kerberos. Razul getting toward the end of 5-1 as well, but into 5-2 we go. Let's go.
Yep, absolutely. And like you said before, this is where the game really gets hard. 5-2 with those big cliffs, those big penalties for dying. Once you really pass 4-3, a lot of those knockbacks can just do so much damage, and there's a lot of things that can really slow you down.
Some scary moments here. We'll see how they handle the dragon cannon jumps. Doing nice strats there. Overall, very good. Coming up to the 11 drop section here at the top of 5-2.
Yep, and
over for both.
Yes, and you can see as B-Fob took a little bit of an earlier death. We may have missed it at the time, but you can see B-Fob one death down, which has him now neck and neck with Christine.
How about I didn't even catch him grab the death, oddly enough. I was looking around there just watching the various racers, and it's just bringing it even closer overall. Christine knocking at the door, trying to get that wild card berth like we were talking about here. And with FabGen having difficulties on his side, that definitely opens the door for her.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of the big things too is, 3 points gets you to 8, but 9 points is really where you want to be. Again, it's, with these times, 9 points gets you up in with Lane Rainer. And, as Lane took that one demon death, if Christine can play pretty safe and come up with a second place, she'll have a great shot, or play safe and come up with a first place. She would be tied with Lane on points and definitely ahead of him based on average race time.
Yeah, just on straight up consistency overall. But look at this. Check this out. It looks like Christine actually very well may have pushed herself in front. B-Fob having some difficulties with the SP boost. And Christine coming first into stage 6.
Absolutely. She's definitely in there and moving. You can see Raz and Fab not too far behind. Again, any death that these guys take is going to get penalized. It's incredible that B-Fob was able to take one. A nice short one, but still you can see it went from him with a pretty comfortable lead to now he's neck and neck and fighting, not necessarily for his life, but at the sense that he can't really afford too many other mistakes.
Oh, and we had another change there. Christine having difficulty getting caught in that vortex of 6-1, getting a lot of health in the process, opening the door for B-Fob, who took that cleanly. We have another lead change here. Look at this.
Yep, and one of the tough things, Christine getting stuck trying to get that 5 ninpo, which sometimes you miss it, you try and go back for it. Had to go back a couple times for it, and if she didn't, she risks not knowing how she's going to handle the stage with the ninpo management if she's not used to it, versus having to worry about wasting that time. And it's curious to see how she's going to react through the rest of the stage.
B-Fob taking it very safe off the long ladder there, maybe just throwing in 1 or 2 quick climbs here and there, but not too much, getting through Hell Hallway without a problem.
Oh no,
Christine throwing in a few extra climbs there.
Yep, missed the clip to get through in the screen transition, took a fall, took another hit, and you can see her health is so dangerously low, she's got to pick and choose her boost. She can't do the exit boost here and the bird boost, so we're gonna have to see. She takes this boost and she doesn't have enough health for the bird boost. We got to see if she notices that.
I'll see what happens based on muscle memory overall. You can get through 6-3 completely cleanly. Obviously, full damage-less playthroughs are a thing here, but we're trying to go as fast as we possibly can. So you can alter your strats slightly. Looks like opting to take the death to get that health refill. I completely can understand that, but that definitely lengthens the stride for B-Fob, looking to get a perfect 3-win run here. It's all going to come down to the final 3.
Yep, and that's it. Christine with the intentional death, a brilliant play to get her health back. It's faster to take that death and have to worry about navigating through that boost.
No. Fab taking a game over at the very end of 6-2.
Oh no. That just hurts so bad. That's so tough.
Okay, well, diverting our attention back to the action here. Christine about to enter the door to the final 3. B-Fob moving on to Jackio. Let's go. Here we go.
Yep, absolutely. Christine coming in through that door in solid second. Raz is going to be a little bit behind her. So, Christine can't slouch, can't slow down. And again, the big decision maker always at the end of every race is, how do we do on the demon? How are the shrimp? And how does it turn out?
And here we go. Everyone collectively holding their breath for B-Fob, killing the tail. Standing there, pretty decent shrimp pattern to work with. Oh, a nice little adjustment there to slightly avoid that shrimp. Getting hit by 1, getting hit by 2. But killing the demon, B-Fob is going to be your winner on this one. And a perfect 12 points coming out of this here for Group C. Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely wild time. B-Fob clocked in officially at 12:27 as might be a little bit lower. Race admins are working to get it cleared and get it figured out. But we'll take a look at it and we'll see if we can get ourselves an official time.
Looks like Christine's going to be grabbing herself a silver medal on this one once again. Killing the tail, Razul as well wrapping up. Fabricator General working his way through 6-3. off screen, I'm looking at right now, looks like Deshauna also in 6-3, actually a hot on the tail of Fabricator General, oddly enough. But that being said, folks, here we go. Fabricator General wrapping things up. Let's see how the final three are. Off screen right now, Deshauna is actually in the final stretch of 6-3, about to enter the door as well. Now, Seamless had to step away to get things all taken care of, and we'll get our groups taken care of as well. Fabricator General, left-hand side of the mash, and takes down Jackio. Get you guys the exact times once we're done here with this. This is going to be wrapping up Group C. We still have 2 more groups worth of action. I mean, 6 more races to get through tonight, folks. So if you've enjoyed your time so far, keep it here. We got more Ninja Gaiden action for you. Fabricator General killing the tail here. Has had a rough go of it, unfortunately. You know, he's going to be feeling pretty rough about this one, but he's finishing things out. Kills the heart, standing inside of it, climbing atop the demon triumphantly, and wrapping things up. Let's get the official times from the judges. And it looks like B-Fob with a 12:18. X Christine with a 12:42. Razul with a 12:57. Fabricator General with a 14:06 and a Deshauna with 14:30 for that one. So B-Fob is in first, X Christine in second, Razul in third. Razul getting up on the podium. Check that out. Fabricator General in fourth position, and Deshauna in fifth for that one. So there we are, folks. B-Fob joining Edo, and the Retro Runner is as confirmed. Going into it, Lane Rainer looking more and more poised to pick up a wild card slot with the 9 points that he grabbed in Group A earlier tonight. So overall, things are looking pretty good. And hang tight there, folks. We're going to get things wrapped up on this one, get things switched over to Group D on this one. And we're in for some more hype Ninja Gaiden races. Glad to have you all here, and we'll welcome in some other new folks. I believe Seamless Link might be stepping out of the commentary booth tonight. If that's the case, truly a pleasure, Seamless. Glad to have you, and thank you for all the work that you're doing behind the scenes. And again, leave you where it is, folks. Hang tight. We'll be here. Okay, guys, welcome back. Group D of the NRL Ninja Racing League. Welcome in, everybody. We're getting set up for this one here. This is Retrophile TV. I think you guys are probably sick of me by this point as we're on the fourth group together, but glad to be here and be part of it. And joining me in the booth, none other than the man who likes to mosh it up. Mosh it up, boys. Perfect Finn. How you doing tonight, Finn? Glad to have you.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, man. I'm sad I couldn't be here sooner, but just happy to participate. Caught the end of that last set of races. I'm sure Fab's a little ate up about the game over in 6-2, but it was fun to watch. And from everything that I've heard from you and Seamless Link so far this evening, the races have been really close. There's been some really crazy results, a lot of back and forth. So I'm interested to actually sit down and get a chance to watch these a little closer. I think this next group's going to be really interesting. Knucklebuster, Grayskull, Spiker, and Mighty Steiny. Some really competitive times, some close PBs. So I think this could kind of go any which way.
Agreed, and right you are there, Finn. Glad to have you here, by the way. And Knucklebuster, though, KB, he is scary. I'll put it this way, man. Just an absolute just monster that these other three are going up against, that I cannot understate. That I have him very favorable. Actually, I thought he would be the one to pull the three, the perfect 12 points out of the gate here. But nonetheless, quick refresher, folks, while we get the race together. This is the fourth group of the night here. We have one more group for you then after this. 3 races per group. Winner of each group moves on to the top 8 that we have next Saturday. So we'll have 5 and then 3 wild cards based on the highest points. So basically, you want to run as fast and consistently as possible, try to get all those points, and we'll see where we stand at the end of this here, folks. But nonetheless, should be pretty good. Perfect, Finn. What do you think? Who's going to take this? Who do you think is going to actually walk away as the group winner for Group D?
Right. Yeah, I agree with what you were saying previously. I think KB is probably the favorite here. Super talented runner, very committed to the game, which I think is important to highlight. He's interested in all the categories. You can see him, constantly, regardless of what game he's actively grinding, he's kind of always going back and dabbling with Ninja Gaiden. And I think it's important, when you're going into an event like this, that you're kind of, fresh and ready to play. You have your familiarity with the game, on a recent timeline. And, Grayskull, Spiker, Mighty Steiny. I know Grayskull's been working on NES marathons. I know Spiker's been playing a lot of Super Mario Brothers 1 recently. But I haven't seen them play as much Ninja Gaiden recently. And so I think KB just has a really natural advantage because of that going into this.
Agreed. Now, something that was called out in chat that I think bears repeating is that Knucklebuster actually has the world record in low percent. So if anything should ever go awry, or if there's any backups that need to happen that don't involve Spin Slash, he can adapt just on the fly. And that cannot be understated as having that in your toolkit can really help you get out of some pretty bad situations in short order.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the most, if not the most important skill set in a race scenario. It's just having those, those backup strategies in your playbook. We had talked about previously why Raz is such a strong runner is because, he has such a low reset percentage compared to most runners. And I think, KB having played a lot of low percent in other categories, being the world record and a low holder in low percent, I think that, if the game throws a unique situation at him and puts him in an uncomfortable scenario, he is probably going to be one of, if not the runner most likely to be able to play through it in this whole event.
Right, you are. So, that being said, we are almost going to be away here. The 30-second warning went out from Fabricator General here in the race room. We're going to be underway. 10-second countdown is starting in. And we're going to watch on screen here and see how things go. I'm very excited for this one. The first of 3 races here for Group D on this one. And 3, 2, 1. The green flag drops, and we'll watch and see what the delays are for this one. Good luck to the racers, and we'll see what story unfolds in this group. We've seen some pretty crazy stuff across the board.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch. I think, like I said, it could go, I think we have a lot of possibilities here as far as the outcome is concerned.
Okay, so it looks like Spiker, Mighty Steiny, and Grayskull are all pretty close across the board. Knuckle Buster has a very sizable delay on the streamer, so definitely keep that in mind as we're going through. Stage 1, nothing really too amazing to talk about here, just trying to keep things clean and consistent across the board. Avoid those minor time losses. No pits to worry about, no major worries about death, that sort of thing. Looks like Knucklebuster either getting a lazy Tyson or opting for something else, but not going on top of the sign there.
Yeah, I think Grayskull actually had the same pattern. It was really interesting. It's not super common. They both took a strange boost to the right and did a quick wall climb, which is pretty interesting. Didn't seem to really cost either of them a considerable amount of time. So I think a mistake like that early on in the run, it's kind of a marginal loss at this point. Could easily be made up. There's a lot more costly time losses in this run for sure.
Agreed. So, Grayskull, which I'm going to talk about here.